Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Mentor Jessica. If you're new to my channel, I mainly talk about my transition to carnivore, why I've stayed carnivore, and how it has helped me with my hypothyroidism. But today's video is a little different. I am running a challenge, and for this month, our focus is healthy eating, eating whole foods, being mindful eating. And really this first week is really focused on switching to whole foods, one ingredient foods. So they're more healthy and trying to get away from the processed foods, especially ultra processed foods. And I'm finding out more and more people do not have an understanding of what healthy or whole foods really means. I was approached last week by a teenager that, so my daughters are teens, and I've been hearing these girls talk about eating healthy and eating healthier, but their version of healthy is scanning a barcode on a food from an app that rates the healthiness. Well, in my group, I had someone share something similar, how they could rate their food. And my whole thought process is, if it has a barcode, it isn't necessarily a whole food. It isn't necessarily safe. It isn't necessarily healthy. I don't want people to be relying on an app. It's one of my first questions. Since I'm carnivore, eat a lot of animal fats, and bacon grease is my go-to to cook with. So I asked, what does it say about bacon grease? And they're like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, is bacon grease healthy? Is it a one ingredient food? Is it a whole food? And the answer is they didn't know. So we have some work to do. This is a generation, like these are teenagers, definitely, don't even know what one ingredient is or what whole food is in some cases. So it's just warning out there that if you have kids that think they're eating healthy, how are they rating that healthiness? What is their perception of what healthy is? And if it comes in a bag, if it comes in a box, and they're scanning a barcode and having an app. This is the part that's the scariest for me. They're having an app tell them if it's healthy or not. Who controls that app? So this was my biggest concern so far. Only 4 days into this challenge, and hearing this multiple times, it's concerning. It's concerning for me to know young adults are out there not knowing what it means by eating whole foods. And we have a generation, and my daughters are exposed to this and having to combat this and having to say, what do you mean? These kids come back with a blank face. Like, what do you mean if it has a barcode, it's probably not healthy? Completely blank, has no idea what I mean by that. And having to go through and look at the ingredients and say, how many of those ingredients can you name? Do you know what they are? Can you visualize what they are? If not, you shouldn't be eating it if you are transitioning to whole foods. So when I have adults asking the same question, I take it a little more seriously that we have a bigger issue on our hands. So with my challenge group this week, it's transitioning and eating more whole, unprocessed foods, making that transition. Next week will be mindful eating and what that means.